Thank you to everyone for coming to my business networking event. Look behind me, everyone's having fun. Nobody wants to leave. If you are a business owner or you're an entrepreneur and you want to learn how you can grow your business and just connect with like-minded people, then you need to come to my next business networking event, which is on Wednesday, the 13th of March.
So my main takeaway for tonight is what I can project within my business, and it's just to be a little bit more, well, I already am authentic, but it's a way I can showcase my personality more with who I connect with online, other business individuals. Be less generic, be more authentic. And that is what Ibby has taught me tonight. So if you're thinking about getting down to one of his events, stop thinking about it. Just take action. Just get down here. The guy's great, and there's some great people here too. Big up Manchester. Let's go.
The tickets will be in the link below.
How long have you done your podcast for?
I think about a year.
A year.
Maybe a year in Jan.
How are you finding it?
Because I think, how I'm finding it?
Yeah.
No, actually, yeah, it has been a year because I started recording this time last year and then I didn't release it till Jan. So, yeah.
Yeah.
How am I finding them? You know what? I really like them.
Yeah.
Especially because we're in the network marketing space. It's good for brand building. It's good for awareness.
Yeah.
It's good to connect to people with people.
It's mad, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I think the connections or even like the opportunities that you get from them. are
Yeah,
just,
like I'm still small.
Yeah.
Like if you stick at it, then it's gonna open doors, innit?
I like the way you wear this jumper.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
The pink one.
Yeah.
I've got like 50.
Oh, are they different?
Yeah. So they've
Oh.
all got different quotes on it. So what does that say?
Don't be a drifter.
Yeah. So
I thought it said don't be a lifter.
no.
I'll be honest, I'd never read it. I've actually only noticed the colour of it. That's why I was like, oh, what should I wear? And I was like, can I wear a hoodie too?
Yeah. No, of course you can. You can wear what you want. You can take them
I've
off
got
if you
my
want.
own- No, I'm fine.
Wear socks.
They're so
Because I
comfy.
do it in socks.
No, they're comfy. It's fine.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing your podcast for?
Launched the podcast in March.
This
I think
year.
it was March. What, March or May, Phoebes? March this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you started off, what was your reason behind it?
Do you know what? So I set it up
Yeah.
because I wanted to meet people, and I was like, obviously you can go to different networking events to speak to people, but you don't know who's going to be there.
Yeah,
And there's like specific people that are always so busy, but you're never going to have that one conversation with them.
Yeah.
So the first episode I did was with Zoe Trigwell from Trigwell Cosmetics.
Right.
And she is like phenomenal, but she is 100 million miles an hour in her business.
Yeah.
And there was no way I was ever going to just...
Who's that? Is that someone? Is she well established?
Yeah, so she's built like a £1 million business,
Wow.
multi-million pound business on TikTok.
Yeah.
And she's just absolutely killed it. But you're not going to walk into her in the street. I think she's from Cardiff.
Yeah,
So she's
yeah.
miles away. So I just asked her to come on the podcast and she was like, yeah, I'll be there. So as soon as she
Oh,
said
did you
yeah,
know her or you not?
didn't know her.
Wow.
So she travelled up. She was the first episode, travelled up. She stayed in a hotel and everything and came
Yeah.
on the podcast. And I was like,
Wow.
this is a thing. I
Yeah,
wanna do a
yeah.
podcast.
See what I found is as well, you could get well, it depends obviously at certain levels, but you could get a really big CEO
Yeah.
who is a low-key type of a CEO and say, listen, do you want to do a podcast?
Yeah.
And everyone loves it.
Yeah,
So they'll
literally.
show up.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I know. Everyone feels comfortable there as well. Like I was on the first episode, I was nervous. I was like,
Oh, you was?
Yeah, I was so nervous because I don't know what it was. I sat there and thought, oh my gosh, I've got to keep this conversation going.
Yeah.
And at the end of it,
Did
I
you
was
used to
like,
zone out sometimes?
do you know what? I had the question.
Have you zoned out?
Like,
I've seen you zone out. Because a podcaster can tell, right? So, because when I'm looking at your podcast or when I'm looking at other podcasts, I
Yeah.
study it differently.
yeah.
So I'm watching certain things, what I do,
Yeah.
certain things. So I thought she's zoned out. And not just you, like plenty of others. It's
Yeah.
funny though. It's funny.
There's certain things though when someone will be talking about something
I've
and
done
you
it
don't
myself.
understand it at all and you're like, shit, I've got to continue this conversation. Or my next question doesn't fit this and I need to ask a question about something I don't understand.
Yeah.
It is a whirlwind. At the end of them though, people will turn around and go, oh, I'm knackered. I go, what are you knackered for? She said, listening to that. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, because for me as well, like when I first started, because it's like when you start off, you don't know which way you're gonna go in it.
Yeah.
So it's like a bit roll with the punches, and then it's like if someone over talks and carries on talking.
Yeah.
And then I used to sometimes zone out,
Yeah.
and then I forget, and then it's like bringing it back, and
Yeah, literally. Or they'll say one really good thing and you'll go, oh, I need to ask a question about that. And then you'll get sidetracked and you'll forget what they've said. You'll forget that question. You'll go, shit, that would have been really, really good. Like I'll go home sometimes and I'll lie in bed and I'll go, that's what they said. That was the bit. That was the bit and the question I should have asked.
So when you started your podcast, right? what was the reason? So you said it was to connect people, but what was the intention there?
So I wanted to speak to, so it's the New Era podcast. So I wanted to speak to people that were successful or the journey to success in the new era. So that's kind of like using TikToks, the power of social media. And I wanted to inspire others of people that have done it. So I spoke at a dinner the other day of, they were like, it was like 10 head girls from schools, and they were all talking about their dream careers, and everything was like school focused on like being a vet, a doctor, a lawyer.
Yeah.
None of them even spoke about business.
Really?
Not at
What,
all.
even like last week?
Yeah.
Wow.
They didn't say anything. It was like the last thing on the minds. And one of the things was, oh, well, I haven't got the capital to set up a business. Yeah, every single person I'm speaking to on my podcast, most of them have either used investors, they're business owners that have not had like a large capital to set up with.
Yeah.
So I think I did it because I wanted to network. I wanted new opportunities, so selfishly for me. But I also wanted to inspire other people to see what they can achieve as well.
Yeah.
I think you don't see the behind the scenes of most business owners either. So they don't open up about, you'll see people and go, oh, they're just an overnight success. Or they've just blown up on TikTok with one video and now their business is thriving. But you're not really seeing like the realities of the hardships they've gone through as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Interesting. So, wow, I'm surprised that that's the case even up until last week.
Oh, yeah.
Like you said, you got that Zoe on, yeah?
Yeah.
So when you recorded that, when did you release that?
Probably about 4 weeks after.
Throughout that 4 weeks, were you recording more?
So we released it, and then season 1, I literally was messaging people like week by week, being like, oh, do you want to come on the podcast? And then I was shooting like the week after.
So were you ever getting anyone blanking on saying no?
I've had a few people, don't get me wrong, I've messaged a few people that just haven't responded. And
So would you never get them back on?
Oh, no, I would. Yeah.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, too right, I would. Because I think in the initial stages, you've got to value their time as well.
Yeah,
and if they're looking at it going, right now that is not worth my time, then that's fine. But as you grow, then okay, they might be like, oh yeah, well now it's worth my time. But then I might be like, well, you're now not worth it based on someone else. It just really depends, you know what I mean?
Depends, innit?
Yeah. Have you had that?
No. I've not had anyone say, no, I'm not coming on.
They've not said no, but I mean like people haven't responded. Or like you've messaged someone and they've just not, like obviously you're in requests, so they've not got back to you.
Yeah, so I'm very mindful of who I text as well.
You don't like to double text.
So like it'll depend like who I'm targeting. So it'll be like, if I know like I'm punching above my weight somewhere at this stage, I just won't do it. So you released it after 4 weeks, yeah? That's mad. So I didn't release my first episode till I had done 10.
Oh, really? Well, that's probably the better way to do it. But I wing everything.
Right.
Like I literally, when I set the podcast up, I was like, right, I know that when I do something, I have to do it right, and I have to give it my all. So if I do one episode, I now have to do 10. So it was the people I wanted on it as well. Like there's like Tom Smith came on it. I didn't think he was going to do it. The people I got on my podcast, I was like,
who's Tom Smith?
So he's like a massive property developer. He's killing it. But everyone I got on, I was like, wow, these people are insane. Like everyone was killing it. But I didn't expect that. When he said about punching too high, I think I just always punch too high with everyone that I messaged. I was like,
interesting.
I messaged Grant Cardone. He's not going to respond. But at least I'm in his DM request.
That's good, that.
Yeah.
That's a sick mentality to have. Because you're thinking, look, the worst that's going to happen is no.
Yeah.
The best case scenario is going to be a yes.
Yeah.
It's going to benefit you. Are you picky with then who you bring on?
Yes, I'm picky with. So the people I've
What, even
messaged,
now?
Yeah, I won't just speak to anyone. It's like they've got to be an entrepreneur and they've got to have. Everyone's got a story, but they've got to be comfortable opening up about that story as well.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you get someone on and if they're not willing to open up and share their story, then they're not going to inspire anyone else. And I want my viewers to be inspired.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think you've got to be willing though to be knocked back. Like I'm not afraid if someone turns around to me and says no, then fine. It doesn't affect me.
See, right now, are you still recording every week?
Yeah, so we recorded, so season 2 is in record now. We did first episode with my dad, and I wanted that to be like an emotional type of episode, like my story, because obviously I can come on podcasts like this and say it, but he's like my best friend.
Oh, cool.
So I wanted him to I thought he was going to open up a little bit more than what he did.
Yeah.
But he was, I don't know, he didn't make me cry, and usually he would make me cry. He's the only person that can like...
Really?
Yeah, because it's emotional, isn't it? When
Is your dad in it?
Yeah, so, but he didn't. And then we filmed, there's a few. It's not released yet, but there's some...
Oh, has you got... Yeah. So, do you know when this is going to get released? I think, when is this getting released? There's my phone, it's up there. I think this is getting released... Huh? 18th of Feb.
Valentine's Day, I should have wore red. I know it's not Valentine's Day, but it is the same
Yeah,
week.
but move it, but like around that.
Okay.
So that's how ahead I am.
Oh, you're well ahead. We are so not ahead.
Guys, just so if you know, like we're recording this in November.
Yeah.
November,
and then you're releasing in Feb. So we've got, okay, put it this way. So I've got 2 people. I've got a girl and a boy. One guy is from Florida, so he's flying over.
Really?
At some point, yeah, to do a podcast. He was meant to come in July, but now wants to look at Feb, March. But in my head, I'm like, I need that in season 2. But if he's not here, then I have to like push it to season 3.
Can I just ask you something? What is
Yeah.
season 1 and season 2? I've never got that because
Yeah.
since I've released it from my episodes, I've
Yeah.
released them every week.
Yeah.
I've not done season 1, season 2.
Yeah.
What is it? Tell me the.
Time management.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because there is something else to it. Because I asked somebody else, they said, look, it does make a difference. Because people say, come in with a season 2, I'm coming with a bang. It's just like it's refresh again, isn't it?
Yeah. It's one of them. Obviously, you're making people want to come and watch it. People have loved season 1. You've then stopped releasing podcast episodes, and they're like, oh, when's the next one? And once they've bought into you, if there's nothing there to listen to, they're either going to buy into someone else, or they're going to sit there and be like, oh, what's the next one? Like, who's she going to speak to next?
Yeah.
So it's kind of that anticipation. But I'd also say, whilst it's the anticipation, it's also time management, because doing the podcast, I have to be there for the podcast. Whereas it's not my full-time business. I just genuinely love the podcast. It's not something that I'm looking to profit on. It's not something I'm looking to run as like.
You know, you can monetize it though eventually.
Yeah, you can monetize it, but it's not something that I'm looking at right now, because I genuinely, the opportunities I've got from the podcast are mad. The people I've met, just having the numbers in my phone book, that is monetizing it. I'm already monetizing it without having to get payments from like viewers and sponsors.
Yeah.
Just from the people.
Interesting. All right then. So we started anyway, but for those that don't know who you are, do you want to tell them what you do and introduce yourself?
Of course.
Like who you are today.
Yeah, today.
Because I change every 10 minutes.
So do I. No, so do I, honestly. It's hard though, isn't it? Because you are a million miles an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm Abby. I'm the founder of Aventus Agency, which is a social media agency. We do content, paid marketing, and creatives. Originally, we were just a social media agency, but we change every 10 minutes to keep up with the times. I'm also the founder of Gym Law. So Gym Law is a female activewear brand. And I'm also the founder of New Era Podcast.
New Era Podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, girl, guys, she's got a podcast as well. Go on. You know what, we'll put all your links up anyway. But yeah, so we were talking about the podcast. What people never understand is, with podcasts, like, it costs money, doesn't it?
It does cost money.
It's like a long-term play, isn't it?
It is a long-term play. It's like...
Have you got your own studio? Like, where do you record it?
We've got a funny story about the studio. So when I decided, right, I'm doing a podcast, that's when I come into the office and I go, guys, I'm doing a podcast and it starts next week. And everyone goes, huh, okay, here's Abby and her crazy mind. So I said to Phoebe, I want to use the office. So we ordered the couches and you know them foam things that you stick on the wall, like the soundproof things.
Right.
I'm not very technical with the names. So Phoebe spent a whole evening like sticking them to the wall.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah, I came in the next day, every single foam piece was on the floor and my whole wall was just tape. It's still taped to this day. So we know we don't have our own studio, we use Liverpool Podcast Studios.
Oh, really? So you
Yeah.
like pay them like what, for a day or something?
Yeah, so we just pay for a 90-minute session and they do all the editing. They do all
Really?
the editing and then send us over the videos, upload it to YouTube. They are fab, yeah.
Wow. So how much do you, a lot or?
£220 for a 90-minute session, that's with VAT. And they'll record the whole session for 90 minutes and then upload it onto YouTube. And then, yeah, fully edited. And then
Wow,
Phoebe
sick.
does the short form.
Wow.
Yeah. I know, she's got a sponsor there. They should be, you know.
Yeah. Let's start with Gym Law, because
Yes.
from oh yeah, I didn't know you was a contractor, a building contractor.
A building contractor. Have you seen me wallpaper steaming?
Yeah.
Tell you
I've
what.
got a few jobs. Can I give you some contracts?
Honestly, if all else fails, I look like a spotty teenager right now. It's not my ideal situation. But if all else fails, I can strip ceilings.
I seen your story the other day, and I thought, you know, I'm going to ask her that. Are you a contractor now as well?
I can remove radiators, I can strip walls, I can knock walls down, I can pull kitchens out, and yeah, I'm fantastic.
You know what? It's interesting though, right? Because I take it, obviously, you bought some house or you're doing something with
Yeah.
a house. And when I first bought a house, I think it was some time ago, and I wanted to really get involved,
Yeah.
do the strip out, because I thought, right, fuck it. I want to learn how to do it, whether
Yeah.
I like it or not, I'll figure it out,
Yeah.
and then at least I know,
Yeah.
right? And I'll just enjoy the process. But I started off, and then I realized after day 3 that I'm just I'm best behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, credit to you. So is that your project that you're doing or something?
Yeah, so I've had the house now for 5 weeks, but I've only been there like on the weekends. So we've stripped it back to like, it's just a shell at the moment. The upstairs has been plastered.
Purchased it, bought it, yeah? Is it your own house?
It's mine,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I wanted it, obviously, to live in, but I just love projects, and I'm the same as you, where I wanted to know exactly how to do everything, but then I will force myself. Last night was the last day I had to strip the walls, and I said to Phoebe on the way here, I was stripping the ceiling thinking, I do not want to be doing this.
Strip house a graft?
I was kicking myself like, you will finish this, you will finish this. And I was like, this is the hardest thing. I'm only stripping a ceiling. But I was like, this is the hardest thing that I've never wanted to do in my life.
So you done all the strip out with your friends and whatever yourself?
Yeah, my family.
You've saved 3-4 grand?
Yeah, I've done all the strip out, and my family have helped. Yeah, and then I'm going to refinance it and move on to the next one.
What are you going to do up and, what is it, like a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom?
3-bedroom.
What are you going to do, just do it or flip it, or are you going to, or refinance it?
Yeah, but I'm going to stay in it. So I'm going to stay in it, refinance it, and move on to the next. But
Smart.
I was going to rent it out. I know. And do you know what it is, though? You learn all these new things. And I learn something and I go, I want to try that. I want to try that. I want to see how I can do it. And everyone's like, just give it a breather.
Well, that's business owners for you, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll come next day and there's something else going on. And Okay, so let's talk about your gym. Okay, so I take it that's a gym brand.
Yeah.
For women only.
Yes.
And you sell, gym gear.
Yes.
How long have you been doing that?
So I launched Gym Law in 2019. Yeah, 2019.
Before COVID?
Yeah, so I was in uni at the time. I was studying law.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not...
Feel free to have drinks and biscuits if you want.
All right, biscuits, don't say that. I'll be ordering chips and cheese and everything.
Get them as well. You know, this place does this really good mac and cheese.
Does it?
Mac and cheese with beef. I don't know if you ever tasted it before or not, but it is, I would say, it's 10-10.
Is it nice?
Trust me.
No, stop it, because it is 5:30. It's bedtime and dinner time, do you know what I mean? No, so I was doing law in uni and then set up Gym Law while I was there. But as I set it up, it was... This is another thing. So I was in the gym in the September.
Yeah.
Said to my dad, I was like, I'm miserable. I was like, this law degree is not doing it for me. Said, I want to set up a brand. Came up with the idea in the gym and then launched the brand in December. So literally from September to December, ordered sets, modelled the sets, got the sample, signed it all off, launched in December, and then we went on to lockdown in the March. So that was like, oh my gosh.
So you one day woke up and thought, I'm just launching a gym brand. Like, where did that even idea come from?
Just, I'd been in uni that day, and I went to the gym that night and said, because my first brand was when I was 14. So I had a company called Spice Couture, which was like a fast fashion type of brand. But
right, so you had a bit of history.
Yes.
Right.
Then sold that when I was 16.
Yeah.
And then went to college, was just a normal kid. I used to sell on eBay, but I was just a normal kid for like a few years. Then went to uni, and it was first year of uni that I just was in the gym and I was like, I don't want to do it, and then decided to set up a brand.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Did you used to go gym yourself?
Yeah. So my dad, he was a bodybuilder. So my whole life.
So it's in your DNA.
Like, the gym, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, now I understand.
Yeah. And the law side of things is just because in school they're like, you need to be a lawyer, a doctor, or a dentist to succeed. So I was like, oh, I'll do law.
Interesting. So did you finish your law degree?
Yeah.
How much does it cost to do a law degree?
I think it was like £9,250 a year for 3 years. And then you obviously get like your maintenance loan or something like that. And I think mine was a minimum of like 3,000. It was a 3-year degree.
So you spent about 30k, probably plus other. Where did you go? Which uni?
No, I went to Liverpool Uni.
Close.
But I lived out, but I just had a flat. I didn't have like student accommodation.
Yeah. So most people probably spend, if they go like in a different town, probably spend 40-50k on a degree.
Easy.
And then they don't even pursue that.
Yeah.
And that's crazy that. And then people are scared to pay mentors 10, 15, 20k.
It genuinely baffles me. My degree. So that is the degree that everyone says you need to go and do to be successful. I was in uni 3-4 hours a week, maybe.
Yeah.
So everyone said to me, how did you run Gym Law alongside uni? I dropshipped as well while I was in uni, but that I've just literally done for years. So I didn't even see that as a career. That was just something I did for fun.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, how did you manage to juggle it? I was like, really, it's not even a case of juggling it. I worked 2 days a week as well in an IFA firm. So I was like, it was just a case of, you had so much time on your hands. It was just how you manage that time. Like, you can go home and watch Netflix, you can go out with your mates and get drunk, like most uni students do, or go home and build a business.
Yeah, but look, not everyone's going to do that, are they? How old are you?
25.
Flipping out. So you was 21 at that time, yeah?
Yeah.
21, 22. You're still very young. I mean,
Yeah.
because this is fascinating. So you decide that you want to launch a gym wear, and what did you get in touch with a white label company, or did you think, right, I'm doing this from scratch? How did that process take place?
So it was a mixture of both. So I obviously had connections in China, and they have like catalogs and samples and stuff that you can just pre-buy. So I got some samples in, and when they came, I was like, no, I want to actually go into this, and I want to design my own bits.
Yeah.
But it is expensive. And when I say it's expensive, it's also the most stressful thing ever, trying to find a supplier that will give you the same sample that you sign off
Tell me about it.
as the bulk.
Yeah.
You'll know it with your hoodies.
No, but this I get from local.
Oh,
I've
okay.
got a local supplier.
Yeah.
And I just ring him up and say, I want this hoodie, I want this print on it. He'll just do it
Oh,
for
and
me.
I'll just do it for you.
Yeah. I should start selling these, innit?
You should do.
I should do like...
You need a rack when you come in.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you have contacts in China from the work that you've done previously?
Yeah, because, so obviously the first brand I had, that I used to buy things in from China, then model the dresses and the bikinis and then sell them online.
Yeah.
So I had them factories from literally, I've had them for 11 years now. And then my other drop shipping companies, I had all them suppliers as well. So I've always drop shipped anything from like cat collars, dog bowls, everything.
Wow.
So I've always just had suppliers.
Yeah. Okay, so have you been China?
No, I really want to go.
So I've been.
Oh, what did you think?
So I've been to, it's a place called Gonzhou,
Yeah.
right? And they have like the biggest event, like a business event,
Yeah.
every single year.
Yeah.
It's like, you've seen Trafford Centre, right?
Yeah.
So it's like 15 times as big as that.
Really?
They do it for 3 weeks. So the first week, it'll be like everything to do with furniture and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The second week will be everything to do with fashion.
Yeah.
The third week will be everything to do with other products. And people go there from all over the world, and they'll meet basically suppliers.
Oh, really?
And all most of them, like 90% of them, can't speak English.
Yeah.
So they're from the village. Like they have factories in the village, and they have a translator. So we're like communicating with someone. And when I went at the time, I just went with a friend, and he's in the packaging game.
Yeah.
Like packaging and all this and that. So he went to find a packaging supplier.
Okay.
So I was just with him for a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mad because you can find so many supplies for every single. They will literally make you anything.
That's the thing. So you can find. That's really interesting. That though. So I'm quarter Chinese. I will cling on to that because that's.
You should go.
I want to go. So my family are from there.
Yeah.
That's where, like,
I
the
made
origin
the mission. I said I'm definitely gonna go again. It's in Gonzhou.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens like once a year. Just if you Google it, it'll come out. You have to apply for a license to give it to you.
To go.
Yeah.
I would love to go.
Yeah, and you know, imagine walking through like 15 big Trafford centres.
Yeah.
You probably can't even get around it.
That's the thing though, but there'll be so many suppliers there selling the same thing as well, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got to find the right one.
You got like, if you get 10 contacts,
Yeah.
it's a business, isn't it? Like you could come back, you could find a furniture person and come back and get in touch with a furniture company and just connect the dots and be the middle person. And you can do so much you can do.
I actually do that with Gymlaw now, so my suppliers, I've got 3 gymwear brands that I've sold my my factory list onto.
Really?
Yeah, so you can, because obviously they want to know. They know that you've got good suppliers, and they're like, "Oh, how have you found your supplier?" So I'll say on my list.
So have someone else owns that, or
As in the list?
Gymlaw?
No. So Gymlaw is my brand.
Yeah.
But my factory list, I've got gymwear brands that will approach me and say, "We're looking for a good factory," so I'll sell on my list.
Wow. Okay. So if I was to order from your site,
Yeah.
Gymlaw, I guess it just directly goes to them, or have you got the products in your warehouse somewhere and you physically
Yeah, so
pack
it is moving over to fulfillment. So we're in the middle of relaunching something. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. So basically,
by the time this comes out, remember it'll be
it'll be February, so I'll say okay.
Yeah.
So we've got basically the only subscription. I'm not going to word drop them. So there's only one brand in the UK that do subscription.
Right.
We're going to relaunch Gymlaw as a community-based subscription brand. So I've got 800 global ambassadors on that company now.
Yeah.
But right now, them ambassadors are just ambassadors, where the only thing I give them is, say, a discount code, and it's just not enough. So we're going to relaunch it as a subscription brand, but the community, we're going to choose, say, like 5 people from the community to actually help us choose the designs. So I'm going to send them out product. they're going to say, choose the colours, choose what they like about it. When they send it back, they'll obviously get to keep the ones they like, but they can send us back them samples and then we can readjust it based on what they like. So then when we actually launch the campaign, they can model the sets and they can really feel included. So that way it really feels like a community.
Oh, that's sick, that.
Yeah.
So when you mean subscription, so somebody will pay a fee every month.
Yeah.
Would they get something for that as well, like when you bring a new...
Yeah, so the idea is that we're going to release a new collection each month.
Wow.
Or we'll do one collection and then we'll release a different colour each month, but we need to be obviously we need to plan ahead.
So a bit like a membership site.
Basically a membership.
That is a sick business model.
But then within that subscription, they're obviously going to get their set. But I don't want it to just be like they get that set that month. I want it to be that there's other sponsors that will obviously, I'm going to say donate, but gift product into them boxes and they can then advertise their brands. But obviously like fitness and health related.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you've got so much scope with that, isn't it? If you
Oh,
really
yeah.
wanted to go in men's, if you wanted to go
Yeah.
like with products, there's so many things you can do,
I
right?
I get men all the time that say to me, like, where can I get good gym wear from? Can you release some men's gym wear? And I'm like, really, if you think about it, my dad was the bodybuilder. He grew up in these dingy gyms. There was no girls there.
Yeah.
So it would have made sense for me to launch a gym wear brand targeting men because I had that custom base there. But instead I went down the female route for myself because I needed the clothes. So I could definitely expand into the male market.
Yeah, and supplements,
Oh,
and
yeah.
health and fitness programs, and retreats. There's so many things you can really do, right?
So much.
But it's only one Abigail, right?
Exactly, there's only one me, and that's the problem where you can have all these amazing ideas, but then you're like, right, like the podcast, why have you got seasons? Because if I did it every week, I feel like one of
Couldn't
them,
do it, yeah.
you know them stretchy little toys that you get? That can be me.
Yeah. You know when you sell a £20 product,
Yeah.
what's the margins?
On gym wear, it can be like 70%, 60-70%.
Wow.
But you've got to think, when it comes to gym wear, things go wrong. So I remember when I launched
Yeah, tell me
the
what goes
brand.
wrong.
I remember I launched the Visionary collection. Now, this was in COVID. It had cost me, I think it was like 10k the collection it cost me. And it arrived and I was like, this is amazing, I love it. And it was one colour because I couldn't afford to buy in. I think usually you release like 3 or 4 colours. So I bought in this one collection. I was like, this is amazing. I put it on. I went upstairs, came down, and the logo had like split in the middle. And I was like, that's probably not the best situation. So I thought maybe this is just a dodgy set. I put another one on. It happened to the same. And I was like, oh my gosh, the logos are just popping off the sets. So it was something to do with the glue in transit. When it had been shipped over, the heat had just affected the glue. So the logos were just peeling off, and my supplier at the time wouldn't do anything about it. They were like, no, there's nothing we can do about it. And obviously it was COVID. I'd paid these crazy import taxes. And I was like, this is the difference between this business making it and just not making it. So I had to then sell them as sample sale and then be like, make people aware that they're getting it for cost price and that the logos will fall off. And I was like, how awful is that? You're literally saying, hi, here's a product that's great, but the logo's not going to be on it for longer than an hour. And you're then just wearing a plain set that you can basically buy from Primark. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was stressful. There's been loads of dealing with like certain influencers has been difficult.
Has it?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
So it's like this with all, like, obviously with the agency now, I deal with it all the time with like certain brands. But when you send a set and you're hoping that someone's going to post about it, you pay someone a lot of money and they post and there's no conversions. I think gym law for me was a real life lesson so that when I went into the agency space, I kind of stopped a lot of businesses making mistakes that I'd made because I'd done them and they were expensive mistakes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So.
It's mad that because, you know, it's funny you say that because I've got like good or bad experience, however. But so in COVID, I wanted to launch either a gym wear brand or a lingerie brand.
Yeah.
So I paid the top designers to sit down and create a design.
Yeah.
I've then got in touch with manufacturers in China.
Yeah.
I wanted samples. Every sample that came was shit. I just didn't like it. And I thought, oh my God. So by this point, I think I had spent about 31 grand on just research and designers and putting this together and that together.
Really?
And it just came to a point where, because one of my friends who owns Public Desire.
Yeah.
And I've got another friend who owns Ego.
Okay.
So I rang them up because we went to school together. So I know the main guys. So I rang them up. I said, the Public Desire guy, I said, listen, I'm thinking of doing this.
Yeah.
But my plan is to get influencer to the marketing.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that, I'll get sales through that.
Yeah.
And this is my plan. What do you think? He said, Ibby, told me what he spends every month.
Yeah.
He said, look, I'll be honest with you. He said, influencer is marketing. Trust me, they're not going to convert unless it's someone really big.
Yeah.
Where it's going to be out your range. They're just going to bring some sort of awareness.
Yeah.
Your conversions are going to come from other marketing things that you do. Like, for example, we spend this much here. When he told me his figures that he's spending, I just realized that, you know what, either I'm going to need an investor, otherwise I could end up spending hundreds and hundreds of brands and still be like, it's not my vision, how I had planned it out, it just wasn't like that. And I scrapped it.
Do you know what? The only influencers that converted at the time were ones with a community. So you'd want to work with those that had millions of followers.
Yeah.
But if they didn't have a community, they were never going to convert. So the smaller influencers that I worked with, they were the ones targeting like PTs, online coaches. When I started going down that route, that's when it started converting, because really they have a community because they are salespeople as well. So if they're wearing the product, they will marketing the product. But it's funny when you say about spending so much money on designers, because if you see, I would literally get my pad, I'd have in my head like a vision, and I would draw like how I'd expect it to look, and I am not a good drawer. And I would literally send it off to my supplier, and they'd go, "What is this?" I'd go, "Figure it out, but that is my design, and I want you to make it." And you're like, "Right, okay." So then they'd go off and they would make it, because I didn't even think about designers at the time. When I say I won it, I completely.
Yeah, no, I was paying a designer £2,000 a month to. It was so much, and then eventually I realized that even with China they mess about.
Yeah.
So they said that they'll send you something first, and then when it comes to the actual big order, they might put some good ones at the top, but all the rest will be shit.
Honestly.
So like even the guy who owns Ego.
Yeah.
They do ladies' shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They travel there themselves.
Yeah, to make sure everything's
to
right.
make sure that everything, and now obviously they've been doing it for years, so they've got good relationships. But it just goes to show, right? Like
it's one of them. So I remember when we released Orbit. So okay, this is funny as well. So I wanted to release Orbit, which was a seamless collection.
What's Orbit? It's just a name.
Yeah, just a collection.
Where do you bring these names up from? Is it AI gives you ideas?
No, AI wasn't a thing back then, was
joking.
it? Like, do you know what? I use that now. But Orbit, it was Orbit because the logo went around the set. So in my head, I was like, that's the Orbit collection.
Yeah, nice.
But then the colours, I was like, right, I'm designing the set myself. Seamless. This factory said they'll give me 50 pieces minimum quantity. You don't get that. In my head, I've gone, that's a bargain. Pay cheap, get cheap. So I was like, right, how am I going to get these colours that I wanted? So I went to B&Q. I looked at the Pantone colours, and I came home with about 50 cards, and I was like, right. And I used my stories, and I was like, what colours does everyone want? And that's how I decided, like, the colours of the collections from using B&Q Pantone colours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Genius.
It's genius to be fair when you think about it, isn't it?
And you know what? Talking about your gym brand, what you're going to do with memberships, I think you should eventually even do a franchise model.
You could do, yeah. 100%.
There you go, girls. If you want to do a gym where get in touch with her, that's going to be a next part of the model, and I'll take 10%.
We go into it together.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, clearly, you've been in business, and it's interesting, isn't it? It's games, isn't it?
It's
it's
all
just
games. Yeah, it is all games.
So then you've got a social media company, right?
Yes.
Which is called
Eventus.
Where's that name come from?
Do you know what? Again, so the reason that company started is because I moved into the Jimla offices. All the stock was stuck at customs, and I didn't have a penny to pay the rent. And I was like, I'd invested everything I had. Because of COVID, everything was so high. And I remember sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? So Eventus became the name. Like, there's no story
no meaning behind it?
Nope.
What does it mean anyway?
Eventus. It means Aventus.
What does it mean? Google. Let's Google this.
I'm certain it's Latin.
Meaning of Aventus. Sounds like a Lamborghini.
Oh, okay, we'll do that then.
It's
Abby's got expensive taste and big dreams.
Meaning of Eventus, yeah? How do you spell it?
E-V-E-N.
T-U-S.
You should have done your research.
I didn't know I was going to ask you this. Oh.
Go on.
Do you know what it means?
I did actually know originally, but I can't tell you now.
It's a Roman, it's something with Rome. It means chance, fate, things happen by accident.
That's one, yeah.
Yeah?
And it did happen by accident.
And it also says success.
Yeah, see? Eventus agency, it's like,
it
is a plan.
So how long have you been doing that for?
So that was 2021, the agency launched.
Yeah.
Now, that was a whirlwind as well, because as I said, I looked at what I was good at and then monetized that. But for me to monetize it, I realized I couldn't do all the work for the clients and do the sales, because I would literally be spreading myself so thin.
Yeah.
So I hired instantly. So the moment that I got that first client, I hired someone full time and took the risk on it, and then just put my whole focus into sales to grow the business.
That's brave, that, you know.
Oh, it was brave.
That is really brave,
Yeah.
because I know so many people, like business owners, they don't hire till years later.
Yeah.
So that's pretty brave.
Yeah, but you've got to remember as well, I hired, but I didn't know who to hire. So I didn't know who was the right person to hire. Like, since then,
You just hired someone who could do everything.
I was like, okay, I need someone that can do social media. This person can do social media. So you have to take that risk, but you don't really know what that risk is. Because I was so passionate about work for my clients. If I continued to do that work, I pick at everything because I'm like a perfectionist. So I knew that I had to remove myself from that, because I can't be a perfectionist there and be doing all these sales calls and marketing and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay, so Eventus, the social media company,
Yes.
you launched it. So who do you work with then?
So when we launched, we were predominantly e-com brands. So we just specialised in e-commerce, because that was when my experience was e-com. I love just growing brands and just having fun with it. And that's where I could be creative. As the business has grown, the amount of service-based business owners that come to me and say, can you help me with X, Y, Z? Mm-hmm. Now, I said yes. In the end, I said yes, because I was like, right.
You wanted the business, right?
I wanted the business, but I didn't want to use my team for that business, because my team they didn't specialise in that. So I was like, right, I want to grow the team to specialise in service-based business, but I want to do it in a way that I've got a new team that can fulfil that. So I just started working with loads of new people, freelancers, testing what was good, what wasn't.
Yeah.
And I had really good offers for these service-based business owners. So even though they were approaching me, I wanted to be able to provide them with a good service that they could buy into. So I did that, and I ended up finding the sickest team from doing that, because it was unexpected. And that's why we've now released, obviously, the New Era podcast, the New Era Accelerator, which is a community-based program for service-based business owners, and the New Era community.
What's that? Is it to do with how to use social media or something?
Yeah, so the community is obviously how to monetize your socials. I'm basically going to bring people in each week. That only launched last week.
Okay, cool.
So that launched last week, but I want to bring.
But by the
people
time
in.
this comes out, it would have been months by the time it's launched.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
So by then, I want to have people that are coming on speaking about like the power of TikTok. I don't want it to just be my face, whereas right now it's just me. So that'll be the New Era agency.
So that is like a membership thing again?
Yes.
You got a thing with memberships, haven't you?
Because it's easier than chasing.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think every single business model should have a membership.
Yeah.
It's recurring. It's like, and you can build it up to a point. That is smart. It's really good.
Do you know what makes me think? So with the agency model, obviously it's high ticket. So everything you sell there is high ticket. Your packages might be 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000.
Yeah.
If you lose a £5,000 a month client, you're losing so much business revenue, where you're like, right. So in my head, I was like, I don't want my business revenue or one client to take up, say, 20% of my revenue. I want them to be max, say, 5%. Because if it's 5%, then if I lose that one client, I'm like, right, okay, I only need to replace 5%. If I need to replace 20%, I'm sat here going, holy shizzle, where am I going to find a big client?
Yeah, because £5,000 is a big, deep hole. Yeah. Interesting. So when you mean New Era program, let's just talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that is a membership site.
Yes.
Where somebody can come on and join it for whatever every month, like a gym membership. And what do they learn up there? How to use social media, or how to grow their business? What?
Yeah, okay, so the community is going to be a monthly membership. Now, the community is a Facebook group. You get access to lives with me, the team, and that is how to monetize your socials, how to batch create content, everything to do with social media. The Accelerator is going to be a program, which is basically, it's everything to do with business. Obviously, you've got finances, you've got marketing, branding, explaining the differences between marketing and branding, because people don't get that. Ads, how to run them. It's basically like a naught to where you want to be. Because my thing was, the reason I had to launch it was that when I was bringing clients on, people were obviously buying into my brand through my businesses that I'd run.
Yeah.
But then they'd buy into me, and then they'd go to work with the team, and they'd say, oh, can I speak to Abby? But I can't be everywhere.
Yeah.
But with the Accelerator, at least I can do the coaching.
So
I can obviously do the training, etc. And when they buy into me,
that's a one-off program.
It's a one-off program, and then the community is obviously a monthly.
So that's an upsell.
Yeah.
Do you have a downsell as well?
So this is the thing with the downstairs. I'm going to do one-to-one like power hours, but with say groups of people. So it might be that I'm doing a power hour with say 6 people or 10 people, and then we're going to look at retreats as well.
Ah, nice. Retreats
Yeah.
it's the new thing. Well, it's not a new thing, but I love that.
I think more people are doing them now because it's like, how can you think outside the box where people are going to...
Are you thinking abroad or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do it in this country, but look at the wind outside.
Yeah. Have you seen that guy? What's his name on Instagram? In Portugal, in Algarve.
Yeah.
He's opening one of the biggest health retreats.
Oh.
What's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
He told me to come and interview him up there.
Oh my gosh, why are you here?
I will. I'll go, but I've just been busy.
Go now, run.
Yeah.
No, you should do.
Yeah, it would have been cool. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I can still go. Like, I've got him on email, and he
Yeah.
said, "Come down. I'll show you." He's opening in 2024, so I think that's going to be so busy that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because now people will go abroad for just it's all health
Yeah,
vibes.
people love it. They do it. Do you know, I think it's funny though that it's health vibes because it's whatever's trending at the time. If health is trending, everyone wants to go away. If it's a retreat that's trending, everyone's going away.
Yeah.
It's the same with we were speaking about the other day about like drinking and stuff. If people stop drinking, it becomes a trend. Everyone stops drinking. If people are drinking a certain cocktail, it becomes a trend. Everyone stops drinking. Do you see what I mean?
What do you think the trend? Do you think the trend with drinking has gone a bit down?
I think more people are not drinking now because
Yeah,
it's become
I've heard
a
that.
trend not to drink. Yeah,
And health is like a bit more.
on the up.
But that's because of people like us talking about it.
Yeah, 100%.
So we're spreading good messages.
We are spreading good messages. I feel it's a good thing though. Like, I think there's certain trends that'll go viral and you'll be like, ugh. But then when you think about it, everything comes from social media.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. You know when you say Accelerator program,
Yes.
who would be your ideal client?
So service-based business owners, creators, and online coaches.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that is targeting service-based. Now, again, because I've obviously got experience in e-com,
Yeah.
I want to expand it so that once the program launches, there'll be 2 sections. So obviously you can't appeal to
It's only one
everyone.
you know.
Yeah, there is only one me.
You
but
know that, innit?
I don't want it to just be me. I want it to be the team.
Got it.
So you're going to buy into me. I'll be there coaching, but it'll also be the team. Because my team are amazing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be my team.
Yeah.
So they need to grow their personal brands within that as well so that people can buy into them at the same time. Like, Phoebe's does my content. I've got Amaya who just absolutely smashes it on socials. Lloyd is a Google Ads guru. If you ask me about Google Ads, I haven't got a clue. Sit down with my Google Ads exec and you'll know everything. You'll know more than I will within an hour because of the way he explains everything. And I want people to understand and to learn from my team as well. It's taken me 4 years to build them.
Yeah. So if you talk about Phoebe, what is she? Is she an employee or is she a partner?
Yeah.
Or is she right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you pay her a wage every month.
Yes.
Right. Okay, from the business that you generate.
Yes.
Interesting. Like that, you've got more people as well on your team. Where do you hire from?
Where do I hire?
What's your
So-
hiring strategy like?
Oh gosh, well, hiring strategy. No, so it's been all over the place. So in December, I actually took it. So December last year,
Yeah.
I took a step back from the business in terms of going, right, okay. Because usually when you're in a business, everything's 1,001 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Things will go wrong and you start to, I was trying to make excuses for why things were going wrong and looking externally as opposed to looking internally. It wasn't until I looked internally, I was like, no, this isn't right. So I literally basically sacked off half the team and started to work with freelancers that I'd built relationships up with and then readjusted the business. So December last year was the most stressful time for me. You wouldn't have known it from the outset.
Yeah.
But obviously if you worked in the business, you'd have seen that I was literally like, I had a stick in my hair, was like everywhere. And it was a hard time. But now I've obviously built connections up with so many different people that when it's come to hiring people, it's been easy because they've been there already. I haven't had to poach people because people want to come and work with us, because if you look at like our weeks in the life and our days in the life, you can see that it's not a corporate job role. So people want to come and work, or I've got people that want to come and do like work experience with me, and then from there they then want to come and work. So I've actually got my little sister's swimming coach at the moment. She did work experience with me.
Who your
Little sister's swimming coach.
Oh.
So now she is desperate to get on social media, and she texted me yesterday saying, I don't want to continue with sixth form. I want to come and work with you.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So okay, what sort of a leader are you then?
An amazing.
Can you answer this in one word, Phoebe?
Oh,
One
no.
word.
One word.
Yeah.
Come on, quickly. Oh my God, you had to think about it.
Confident.
I do this. So we had a podcast once. And
One more.
No, come on.
Fail. Ding.
She's a content creator, okay?
No, but what would you think? Like, what's your lead? What sort of a leader are you? Are you a calm leader? Or are you like a bit commotion packed?
Do you know what? I think if I look back years ago, I wasn't calm.
No, I'm asking about
in the
now.
slightest. Now I'm going to say calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say calm now.
Because you're seasoned, innit?
100%.
You're seasoned.
I'm like a seasoned piece of chicken.
You've seen it. It's like patterns.
Yeah.
You've seen it before.
Yeah.
Like, right, okay, I know what to do here.
You think when you first start a business, you're so emotional. Like everything that you do it with so much love and passion that you want everything to go right, no matter who you hire.
Yeah, it's your baby, innit?
It is your baby.
Yeah.
Whereas as it grows, I think you've got to learn to take a step back. Otherwise, you can't let it keep growing. You've got to be a leader. You have to let people do their job. You can't just micromanage everything. So I don't micromanage. I take a step back. That's why when I do micromanage, I become a fussy twat. That's what I get called. So I just take a step back. And I've learned that you can...
Because you're a perfectionist, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So would you say, because as you know, like as you're growing now and you're going to keep growing, like you can't do everything as a leader. So there's a CEO, there's an operation role,
Yes.
there's what would you say you're the best at? Because I think I'm a
Yes.
shit CEO. I think I'm a good
Yeah.
CMO.
When it comes to leading, I don't like fully managing a team. So I love my team, but my focus, like I'm creative, I love sales, I love going out and networking. But then when it comes to having to come back to look at, say, like account managing, that is leadership. That you need to make sure that work's been done, that the client's happy, etc., and everything's all tied together in the middle. Whereas I'm like, oh my gosh, if someone's not done something,
Yeah.
it makes me irate. Whereas I don't want to.
Because
Because
your business, innit?
Yeah.
You're
so-
next on the line.
Yeah. So I prefer to be on the creative side and like the sales, or even like the ideas and the BD side of things as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. So how many people have you got at the minute? The team is 5, 4?
9.
9.
Yeah.
Wow, so it's a bit of a busy
Yeah,
office.
it's-
Does everybody work from the office? Or?
No. They're all remote. It's just me and Phoebe's in the office now.
But they're in UK, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the UK.
So would you bring them into the office?
No, so Amaya's in Manchester. No, she's not. She's in Leeds. Billy's in London. Lloyd's in Wales. Everyone's like spread out. They're like
Wow.
so spread out.
So you just give them their jobs. How do you all communicate then?
Do you know what's good about them? Because originally it used to be a case of we'd have like a Slack board of all like our communication.
Yeah.
Whereas now the people on the team, they can do all their client calls. They know what they need to do. They don't even speak to me really in the day. I'll get in the morning I'll get a summary. At the end of the day I get a roundup of everything. I've got a client that used to love me. Now they're that obsessed with Lloyd. They haven't spoke to me for 6 months. They have not spoke to me for 6 months. I'll message them and they take longer to respond to me because they're just obsessed with Lloyd. And I'm like, you know what? This is sad but brilliant at the same time.
So I guess you bring the business in?
Yes. So I would love to be able to bring someone on. That is one thing I have struggled with is the sales side. I know you can bring so many different people on, but we have a lot of referrals as well.
Yeah.
And even when it comes to referrals and like handling clients, that is something that I need to learn to be able to take a step back from because I can't do that forever and launch the new era.
But how long have you been doing this for, the whole thing?
Day one, I've done the sales.
No, meaning like the agency.
Oh, 2021.
Yeah, so you're still fairly new though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're still kind of fairly new, so it's going to take you a while, but at least you already know what you need to do.
Yeah, I started trying to look for someone to help with sales from day one though.
Yeah.
So because we got our first client in the first 2 weeks of launching the agency, and when I got that client, I didn't expect to get them. I was like, wow, I'm onto something here.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I need someone else to help me. But the way I was getting them clients was from me. So the hard thing was, okay, you bring someone else on, but how did they sell you when they're not you? Do you know what I mean? So that was my struggle.
Yeah. So I take it when you mean social media, you got a social media agency, you would manage their Instagram, you would manage their TikTok, you would do the email marketing, or do you not do all that part?
We do. So we've got James that does email marketing, yeah.
So you basically cover everything, right?
TikTok is the biggest thing that we're trying to get into at the moment. So we've got Beth that does like TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
But that is like, you can kill it on TikTok Shop. But again, that's e-com. So you can try and push it on like the service-based side of things, but that gets quite difficult. But TikTok is madness.
Like say I'm a business owner, yeah? So
Yeah.
I come to you and say, hey, listen, what's it called? How many times should I be posting on TikTok and what should be my strategy? What would
Yeah.
you say?
Everyone's completely different. So I have every single day people that are like, oh my gosh, how many times do I need to post on social media? Like, am I posting enough? Am I not posting enough? I always say you need to decide on a posting frequency that works for you and then be consistent with that posting frequency. If you go into it and say, right, I'm going to post 7 days a week, and then you post 7 days a week, and then next week you show up twice a week, you're not being consistent with that platform and the algorithm will not recognize it.
Yeah.
So I say you need to choose something that works for you. And once you've chose that and you've been consistent with it and tested it, then you'll know what works. But you still need to do that for like 6 weeks to 3 months to figure out what works. People will come and they'll say, I posted this for a week and it's not worked, my views are down.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that with everything they say, innit?
Everything. You've just got to be patient with it.
Yeah, I had some guy, he messaged me on Instagram. He'll know who he is. And he said that, can I come on your podcast? And I said, yeah. I said, post for 6 weeks in a row on your Instagram for 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And if I see that, I'll bring you on the 7th week.
That's clever.
Right. So you know what I was doing there. I wasn't bothered about. I was getting him in a good habit of posting. And I did check him after 3 weeks, stopped. He posted for 2 weeks and then stopped. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, people don't see things in the long run.
They don't.
Bad habits kick in, right?
100%. And it is, they see it as hard work. And I think you can batch create content in a month, in a few hours.
Yeah.
You can literally, if you just sit down and get it done and stop distracting yourself with everything else that you're doing, you can get it done. I do it sometimes, like with Phoebes. She's obviously a comfort blanket, so she does all my content. So I'll sit there and go, I can't make a video. She'll go, Abby, you're pretty capable of making a video. I'll go, no, I don't know how to do it. She's like, Abby, before me, you did all of your content. And then I'll create a video and she'll go, that's all you needed to do.
Yeah.
You've just moaned about it. So we're all human. Like, even though I bark on about it all the time, this is what you need to be doing, sometimes I'll just be like,
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
That.
But really, you can do it. You just need to change your mindset up and just get it done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, do you actually sit there and do shorts and stuff like that? Like, how do you ever, like, how does that process look like?
Do I edit them?
Post a blooper episode, right?
We're going to do
There'll
a blooper.
be plenty, right?
Yeah, at the end of the year, we're going to do a blooper episode because when I'm filming, say, a YouTube, say if Phoebe's not with me on the weekend, like doing this house at the moment, I'll film and then I'll put my hand over the camera and then I move my hand and go, hello, Phoebe. So like we've got so many bloopers. Or I'll sit there and I'll try and film something and I say something completely wrong. And yeah, we're going to release them though. We're going to do a whole
that'll be
episode.
cool. But so when you sit down and let's say you do some shorts.
Yeah.
Because I do a lot of shorts. So what would be your strategy? How long would it take you? Like how long did it take you now to do I don't know. Like I don't know what you do. How many do you do shorts? Like and posting. Like how many do you do? What's the topics and stuff?
So our shorts, we get a lot from the podcasts. So
Yeah.
we cut lots of our podcasts down.
Yeah.
But what we've started doing to be more productive, we literally started this like last week.
Right.
Because I was like, I've seen loads of people filming in their cars.
Yeah.
So I love filming in the car because I can put my phone down and I can speak at it and I feel like it's more natural.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day we were driving to the gym actually, and Phoebe was like, right, talk. So we were just talking about topics and I was just reeling topics out. But it was more
Nice.
convenient because we were on our way somewhere.
It was good for you.
Yeah, it was like I haven't got to schedule time out now to film content because we're driving here anyway. I'm now filming content on my way to my next destination.
Yeah.
So we've started doing that. And then we went to a coffee shop as well and filmed in the coffee shop.
Nice. Different
So,
scenery.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what I do is I put 2 Q&As on every week.
Yeah.
As people send me questions about business or whatever. And I'll deliberately only answer 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But all the rest of them, I'll get them. I'll be like, right, we need to make reels out of these.
Yeah.
You should do the same.
Well, so there's so many different strategies. So that we do Q&As, but we also do, say if I've got like 3 competitors, which might not be similar to me, or we've got a similar audience, we'll go through their questions, what are their audience asking, and then we'll create content based on what their audience wants to say.
Research, right?
Research.
People don't, but this is the thing, people don't understand research. You have to do it.
Oh, 100%. It just saves you time. Like, if you're sat there creating content all the time, you don't know if it's going to convert.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're speaking to your existing audience. You don't know if you're speaking to your target audience. If someone else has a similar audience to you and they're asking questions, read through them and then put your own twist on it.
Yeah.
Save them the time. It's all about providing convenience for your ideal client as well.
Yeah. So what's your content like? Where do you post? Everywhere?
So we post TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Yes.
How many?
YouTube Shorts every single day.
One a day.
One a day. And then we do main YouTubes once a week. But we're still trying to figure that platform out.
YouTube.
YouTube Shorts every day. And then a main YouTube video, so like a full length one, like a long one, once a week.
Right, cool.
So that'll be a day in the life.
So what are you trying to figure out the shorts?
Algorithm, yeah.
Yeah.
The algorithm on that. So sometimes it'll be really good, sometimes it'll flop. But yeah.
So we started with one YouTube a week with guest.
Yeah.
Then I started with another YouTube 5-minute content about any topic about business every Wednesday. Now I'm starting a third one.
Yeah.
Which is to do with a bit more vlog style.
Yeah.
Because you can get to know what I'm like. So we're going to be posting 3 a week, long form, and then YouTube Shorts we do 3 a day.
3 a day. How are you finding it?
Easy. But remember, I didn't start my first one till I had 400 in the bag.
Okay, so you just had the consistent...
I recorded 400.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, and then I thought, right, let's start today.
Yeah. See, when it comes to our short form, we've got so much content to go out there.
Yeah.
But when I say, because literally Phoebe schedules it, so she'll go, okay, well, this week we're going to do Weeks in the Life, and we'll test what works better. But we haven't really like fully gone, okay, how are we going to dominate the platform and take over it? But it's something, the only reason I got into YouTube is because people were coming across my Instagram and they were like, you're so serious. Like, oh, we love like the knowledge that you're putting out there, but you come across really serious. I'm a dork. I'm like the biggest dork you'll ever meet. And I was like, right, how can I actually come across as myself?
Yeah.
The only way you can do it is if you come along the week with me.
Vlog style.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing it, because people
Yeah.
don't know what I'm like. They think I'm the same.
Yeah, they think you're like really serious.
Like a robot or something.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, all you do is work. Well, yeah, I do actually, but I am a dork in the process and I enjoy myself. Yeah.
Yeah. But so what we do with shorts is, so every single guest that we bring on, we'll do 9 shorts for them.
Okay.
So that's 3 days done.
Yes.
Right? So the other 2 days I'll do shorts.
Yes.
Which is the Q&A covers that 2 days. Yeah. And then the other one, we just cover like a gym, something to do with gym or something to do with some old things.
More broad.
And then every 6 weeks, I'll just repurpose that and just replay it.
Okay,
because people don't know, innit? You just keep getting new followers.
Yeah, it's clever because that's what I like about the platform though, that you can be really broad with it.
Yeah.
Do you ever get like hate on it? Hate on YouTube?
Like, just little snidey comments.
Yeah.
Nothing too serious.
Yeah.
It depends what's the hate, like on what I'm saying or like on me personally. How do you get it?
So I don't get it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I haven't had it on TikTok.
Yeah.
But on YouTube, I feel like I get more on that. So I'll get like, it sounds bad, but I get like men that'll come for me on YouTube and they'll say like, you're not taking like financial advice from a woman and things like that.
Oh,
and I'm
like that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Like, come on, guys.
But if that was me, I would text back say that's a broke mentality.
Oh, I literally turn around and I'm like, that is the reason you're skin. Like the reason you're coming on here right now is the reason you're skin.
Yeah.
I'll always give it back. But then I'm like, this is so weird because nowhere else, I don't get anything like this. And I thought that if you were going to get hate, it would be from like, say a woman, but a man to come at you, it just freaks me out.
Yeah, that's just backwards.
Weird.
That's backwards, yeah. Like I've had a few things like I put something up on YouTube a few weeks back and it was like, oh, this is basic knowledge. But like, well, it's the basic things you need to get right in life to make progress.
And you're listening to it.
Yeah, but then what I will do is I'll look at the comments, I'll see if there's anyone actual real person.
Yeah.
If it's not, then it's just leave it.
Yeah.
But if it's a real person, then you have you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
but most of the time, they're just keyboard warriors, aren't they?
Well, of course. Like the fact that they're sat there and they've got the time to be like, I don't like this video. It's like, listen, Karen, I don't like you. So just leave me alone.
Yeah. But it doesn't affect you, does it? Like, you just have fun. Yeah.
No, it did. Don't get me wrong. When that video, so a video went viral.
Right.
And there was a few things, there was a few like male comments in there. And I've always sat there and I've never seen like men and women as different. And I get that, okay, yeah, we are. But like, I've never sat there and said, oh, I can't do this because I'm a woman or anything like that. I always just ignore stuff like that, which is why if I sit in a room of women, they'll all talk about female empowerment and stuff, and I haven't got anything to say about it because I don't see that as...
I'm the same.
Just continue as normal.
Yeah.
do your stuff as you go. So when I was getting comments like that, I was a little bit like, wow, I don't want to have to speak out about this.
Yeah.
But these people are coming at me, and I'm like, oh, this is so annoying.
Yeah, look, that's going to happen when you start, getting some momentum and people start noticing you. That's just normal, right? Grant Cardone says it best. If you're not getting hate, then you need to step up your game.
Yeah, you need people to hate you, and I'm like,
oh. Yeah, because you need, yeah. So what's your relationship like with Instagram?
Instagram is one of them platforms that back in the day, you could literally just post on it and you would win. It was the best platform ever. You would just post and you'd convert leads. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
Now it does require strategy in a sense of not a strategy where it's like, okay, you need to be posting this amount of times. You need to be targeting this client. You just need to be speaking to your audience.
Yeah.
I think people overcomplicate it in their heads where they're like, right, I need to get technical with it. When you don't, you just need to be speaking to your ideal audience and using the same language that they use.
Yeah.
So if you're working in a specific niche, don't use the technical words. Use the slang words that your clients are using.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're searching.
Yeah.
So Instagram is it is such a good platform to nurture your audience, to grow your personal brand. I love it.
Yeah. Because I spoke to somebody, I think it was last week. His name's, I forgot. Yeah, so he said to me that he's got a love and hate relationship with Instagram, but because he feels so attached to it, he's not going to let go of it. So.
Well, think about when you open your phone. What app do you open?
Yeah, I open YouTube and Instagram.
YouTube and Instagram. I don't open TikTok because I know that I'll open it and you get consumed by it. Whereas Instagram, I actually use it I learn from it in the same way that, say, I learn on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But I think people need to be more strategic with who they follow. That's the problem. So it's like you'll follow people that you don't like. You'll follow people that you're not interested in. Whereas if you actually follow people that you engage with or you're inspired by, then you start to love that platform.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can become overwhelming.
Yeah. What about Facebook?
I lost mine.
How? Don't tell me you were pointing out stuff and you
said
broke guidelines and they cut you.
Can't believe you said you did your research, because this has been my broken heart for the past 2 months. 2 months.
Yeah.
So.
No, my research happens as I'm talking to you.
Oh.
As you can tell, I'm pretty freestyle.
No, I'm the same. So my Facebook got hacked, and I was like, right.
How did it get hacked?
You tell me. Still to this day, we're trying to figure it out, because I've got 2-factor, I've got one of them code things, the authenticator apps. Got hacked. Didn't say anyone was in the account. It just said your email's been removed and your phone number's been removed. And I was like, right, brilliant. So I think one of my clients had been hacked. Right. One of my clients' ad accounts had been hacked.
Yeah.
And because of that, they then got into my account. And Sahil from the Philippines, that was his name, brilliant. Took over my account, and Facebook will not give me back.
Do you have a lot of followers on there, or?
I had 5,000 members in my community.
Wow.
So, moral of the story is build an email list. Because if you don't have an email list, you lose your followers. You don't own your Instagram following or your Facebook, but you do own your email list.
It's mad you say that, because you know what happened on... so I woke up 3 days ago, my Instagram shut down, right? He sent me a message saying that you've broken some guidelines, and unfortunately you can review it.
Yeah.
So press review if you want us to review it. If not, press review. So instantly I press review.
Yeah.
They say, okay, we'll get back to you in 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
Then they send me a message back within a few hours saying, we've had a look at it, you've broken guidelines, so that's the end of that, and we're not even going to kind of view it now. It's basically done with. Abrupt email, yeah? So I then send, because there's nowhere to, you can't pick up a phone and ring Instagram or something. So I'm thinking, I can't even get in, what shall I do? So anyway, what I do at that point is, I open up another Instagram straight away first, and I thought, okay, well, glad I don't get business from Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm talking to myself at this point. I don't rely on Instagram for business. I just rely on Instagram for awareness and whatever. Yeah. So I'm thinking, wow, this is a bit of a lesson here. So then I emailed the guy back who emailed me, telling me that he's closed, saying, listen, I understand I'm closed, I get that.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me what guidelines are broke? So in future, I just don't break them.
Again, yeah.
So then he emails me back a few hours later saying, oh, sorry, it was a mistake. It was somebody else. You're allowed back in. Because I'm thinking, I'm not controversial. What have I posted?
Oh my gosh, that's such emotional torture.
But it taught me a lesson.
Yeah.
And it was a message I put out there to people. I said, listen, guys, because I know a lot of people that rely on Instagram. They do cold DMs. They get their customers from Instagram. Yeah. I say today, right this second, you either need backup accounts, email, a text service, another platform where you've got certain customers. Because if you think about it, Instagram's a private business.
Yeah.
They can shut you down. It's like it's up to me if I allow someone in my house or not.
Yeah.
So everyone needs to have backups, like you said, right?
Yes. Because it's scary as well. Like when you lose it, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, Facebook isn't my main platform, but at the time I was like, it felt emotional because I'd had that account for like 15 years.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, it is. We actually knew that because I tried to search your account the other day to show Phoebes and I couldn't find it.
Yeah. It must have been that day then.
It must have been that day, yeah.
I can't remember if Friday or Thursday or Friday or something like that. And it was
Yeah.
like, but even though I don't get business from there, I felt like I was a bit stressed.
You'd lost like a part of you because that is your platform that people DM you.
Yeah.
You'll have conversations on there. I use Instagram and WhatsApp. So people will message me on my DMs in the same way they'll WhatsApp me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big platform.
Interesting. So give some tips to people about social media and about business and what you've learned and your wisdom that you've gathered.
Do you know what? I think when it comes to tips, it all just depends on who you are. But one thing I would say is personal branding at the moment is massive. I have a lot of people right now that are struggling with whether to grow their personal brand for their business, whether to grow it personally. If someone is struggling with whether to do it for their business, I think they have to decide if it's detrimental to the business or not. So do they need it to obviously bring in further leads, or will it be detrimental if they ever have like an exit plan? So if they want to leave that business, can they leave it if they grow their personal brand? Or if they grow it, will it not affect it? Then what else? So personal branding, going back to that, you know yourself how important personal branding is. Like, where would your podcast be right now if you weren't here?
Yeah.
You are the brand, aren't you?
Yeah.
How do you think growing your personal brand's affected like your success right now?
The thing with me was I came on social media, I had already made my money before.
Yeah.
Right? So when I came on, it amplified it in a different way.
Yeah.
But because my target audience and the people I sell my stuff to is a very small percentage of people.
Yeah.
I've just seen a lot of awareness.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it gathers momentum. People get to see who you are. Like, when I go in my local gyms, like, oh, I seen a TikTok. Oh, like, that it has started to happen a little bit, even very small scale. I must be doing something right?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm still fairly new.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah, definitely.
So, like, but it's definitely gained momentum.
Yeah.
And it's definitely gained, like, awareness.
Yeah.
And I knew if I was to start something today,
Yeah.
straight away, like a small, like a low ticket item, people would buy straight away.
Yeah. Do you know a funny story about a podcast that we did?
Can I have that as well? You're not going to come and do mine? I'm only joking.
Do I need to clean it? We did a podcast and she airdropped me like mid-podcast. And I was like, why is Phoebe airdropping me?
Yeah.
Declined it. And at the end she went, I wanted to tell you that your hair looks shit.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. Well, I was thinking, you know, your hair from that side, when it covers your eyes a little bit, right? When we do the shorts, it might...
It's so annoying.
But then I thought you might be just want it like that. But it might be fine, I'm just guessing.
It's just really annoying. Really, I just need to shave it off.
I just thought it might be something you wanted, because some people do it with angles, right? Like, that's my best angle.
See, this is where like the girl in me just leaves my body, where I'm just like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Yeah, so you was asking we were talking about personal branding.
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely like is bought momentum and gained a lot, because it has to, right? If you're putting like 50, 60 shorts out every week, people are going to see you somewhere. And I've got this pink top, right?
So it's very
like
recognisable.
Yeah. What about you?
I think so for me.
Yeah.
I knew that this time last year, because I was always behind the scenes, like I didn't start growing my personal brand until January this year. If I'd have stayed behind the scenes, I wouldn't have grown the business. Like I would have been chasing leads every single day, like I was. I'd have been chasing my tail trying to find new business, because I never went to networking events either. I didn't do anything. And I knew that as a social media agency, it wouldn't have made sense me just relying on that, because no one knew who I was.
Yeah.
The only people that knew who I was the people I was working with. And yes, we got referrals from that. You're not going to take over the world with that, are you?
Yeah.
So it was just a case of me saying that how am I gonna grow my personal brand to then obviously gain new leads, and
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
what
yeah.
that's what I decided to
Yeah,
do.
this is what I mean. Like you started a year ago, I probably started around the same time. We're just ahead of people who have been just watching and
Yeah.
thinking like, I'll start tomorrow.
Yeah,
So no matter what happens, like
Yeah.
we're 1 year ahead of someone,
yeah,
right? So this is where people just need to, if they need to do it, like what you're saying, the tips there, and
Yeah.
you're saying grow your personal brands.
yeah.
Like, just do it, innit? Because it's gonna bring you more business. It's gonna do a lot of good for you.
Yeah, that's probably one of my biggest tips is like if you want to grow, if you want new opportunities and you want to grow your business,
Yeah.
grow your personal brand if it's not detrimental. I would get out there, I would grow your personal brand because people are going to buy into you, and it's that authenticity. Like you're not going to be able to express that on a sales call if no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised the amount of people that will buy into you from your personal brand before they've even spoke to you on a sales call.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you don't, it'll sell your product.
I
and
found that as well.
service. Yeah.
Have you found it?
Yeah, you don't need to sell yourself.
Because it's not a sale, it's a close, isn't it?
It's a close. They already know who you are.
Yeah.
And you don't need to prolong that sale because they've already prolonged that sale by buying into you and going, right now's the right time.
Yeah. So do you jump on phone and do a sale close or whatever it is?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
Tell
How
me
do I
something.
do it?
Hey,
Say
hey Abigail, go on. What products have you got?
Product? No, it doesn't work like
Oh,
that. It needs to be a case of I would sit down with someone and I would say, right, okay, where are you now and where do you want to be?
Yeah.
And then I'd have to establish if I can actually help them. I'm not just going to sit here and say, yeah, I can help you.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
then
I
in
want
a year's
1,000.
time-
I want 5,000 followers this year. I want to grow my business from 1 million to 2 million. Can you help me?
Tell me more. Tell me more.
What's the questions
okay.
you ask?
Okay, so it all depends on the pain points that they're going through.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
pain points of that ideal client. And I'd say, right, okay, what are you struggling with? And then if it is a client that turns around and says, right, okay, I need to think about it, it's just a case of saying, okay, would you want to be in the same position that you're in now
Yeah.
in 6 months' time? Or do you want to be out of this situation?
Mm.
The difference with us is I'm not there to only provide you with, say, social media posts. I like to work with our clients on more of a one-to-one level of, okay,
I like that.
what other things are wrong in the business? Because you can look at social media and say, right, I need social media, this is going to help my business.
Yeah.
The reality is there's more internal things, there's more
Definitely.
issues.
100%.
So I'll look into a business and say, this is what needs changing, which is why that's where my issue comes into it. When people then buy into my team, they haven't got the business knowledge.
Yep.
So then they'll want to come back to me and say, well, Abs, I want to speak to you. And I'll go, okay, well, we need to look at a consultancy then. Because I can come in and consult you on your business, but I haven't got all the time in the world to do it on
Yep.
just a phone call where you can just ring me every day.
So do you? Yeah, that's interesting. That because when I work with, because I work with like CEOs and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
trust me, what I found is it's a lot of personal problems that are showing up in their business lives.
Yeah.
And most of the time, what they're lacking is critical thinking and mindset stuff,
Yeah.
and it's mainly that sort of stuff. And as soon as they fix them things and apply a little bit of strategy,
Yeah.
it fixes itself. So
Yeah.
it's interesting you say that. So you know, if somebody wanted to work with you,
Yeah.
like on a consultancy level, like
Yeah.
an agency or an online coach or whatever,
Yeah.
What do you charge?
What do I charge?
Yeah.
Millions. No, it just depends.
Does it, is it like over a 12-month period, or is it tailored, or like?
I do. So I do 1 month. I do like power sessions. I do 1 month
What's
retainers.
power sessions?
So it might be like a one-to-one.
Ah, okay,
Just for
okay,
that
okay.
1 hour.
Ah, okay.
So because you might sit there and say, right, I really want to work with you.
Yeah.
But we might work together and then go, do you know what, that was brilliant, but we're not the right fit. You're not going to be the right fit for everyone.
Yeah.
So them sessions just allow you to decide if you're going to be the right fit as well.
Yeah.
So we'll do like a one-to-one session where we might look at your social media now, your business where it is today, and then go, right, okay, where do you want to be in the next 6 months? How can we tailor that? Or how can we build, say, a content calendar that's going to get you to where you want to be in the next 3 months? There's only so much you can get done in an hour, but there's a lot of, say, accountability tasks that can be set in that hour that people can then go and do, and then go, wow, this worked, and then come back to, say, sign on like a 1 month or a 3 month.
Nice.
But yeah, it depends, because obviously you can have like set fees, but people might want you there, say, more. They might want to speak to you on a more like one-to-one basis on WhatsApp, or more hourly sessions each week. Again, it really depends.
What average? What do you charge? What? Stop hiding from telling me what you charge. Just tell people what you roughly charge, or tell me what you charge.
It can be anything from, say, $250 to $650.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, that's
I
nice,
don't-
because at least people know now, because
Yeah.
I think my podcast is probably business and entrepreneurs that
Yeah.
and I know every single person is going to need help with social media.
Yeah, they do. I think when it comes to the monetary side, I think some people you can share what you make,
Yeah.
but I think there's also backlash from that.
Yeah.
So like with me, like I can share like funds and stuff, but I think there's certain things where I go, I'll keep certain things back. You've got to keep yourself safe as well.
Yeah. No, 100%, 100%. Well, is there anything else you want to share? Tell people.
Do you know what? I want to say thank you for obviously inviting me on today.
Oh, no.
I really appreciate it. And obviously, if anyone needs any help with socials, so the community group at the moment is free. Obviously, when this goes live, let me know, and I'll make sure it's free for that week as well.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
So
anyone wants to join?
Anyone that wants to get into the group.
Ooh, one-time offer, exclusive. We need to have like breaking news going in.
Breaking news. Once they're in, they're in. Like, there is no fee. My aim was I wanted that group to be a community. So it's not even that you have to come to me. There'll be people there within your niche that you can rant to. You can just, so you know what it's like. You'll do something in business and you'll go, I want someone to rant to. Like, who can I speak to right now that's going to understand and have some advice for me? And that's what I want the community group to be like.
Yeah. And guys, look, this is like, it's not even a joke. If you don't pay, like, I'm telling you now, like, with mentors and with communities, that's how you grow your business.
Yeah.
And things like these, it's not enough people doing stuff like this, so.
No, I've lost thousands, like, through the lessons that I never used a mentor, ever. I just learned. But you could save yourself thousands by just working with someone that's already done it.
Yeah. So do you read books, or have you not got time to read books?
I read books and I listen to podcasts. To be fair, Audible saved my life, because reading a book, my focus is a nightmare. If I'm not interested in something, my mind's like ding, ding, ding.
I've got 2 books coming out this month.
Have you?
I'll send you both.
I'll tell you if I can stay focused.
Huh?
I'll try and stay focused.
Yeah, and they're on audio as well. So you can
I'll definitely.
Yeah. One's a mindset book, one's a business book.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
sick.
what I was going to say, there's another book I finished last week, and it might be worth you reading it and giving it to all your team to read as well. It's called The Hard Thing About Hard Things.
Oh, okay.
It's perfect for business owners.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, definitely. I'll take a listen.
It's really, really good. But yeah, listen, Abby, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
I think you've been great. I think you've been very educational, super helpful, and people will find this podcast super valuable. We'll put all your links and your channels and everything in the description below, and sure people will reach out to you. And
thank you for having me.
Keep changing lives, and we'll do a part 2 in 12 months.
Yes, we will. You can come on, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.